point platform. TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make salute.
Yes, family, and welcome back to yet another very important segment where you can do the Talking Point platform. My name is Mohamed Kabu, and today, on the 1st of June 2022, we get one single issue where we get for can analyze, and you say get the opportunity for send you text message here, make a comment, we go read them. The issue now regarding with census, we don't be the talk of the country right now. And this is very serious. So we can analyze and we can take some of the words of Dr. Ben and Dr. Dennis Bright, waiting this census represents. And we even go quickly back how this thing all unfold and why the government so insist that they need census. Now, not going to say, una can join we, una say can get something for no much. And we believe say we all get a strong rule for play because I think say something they behind the census way if we not enough to understand and clearly we go regret her. We hope you not cancel that.
Talking Point platform for news within our country alone. For education, entertainment, political affairs, TV. We got enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone, like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit, TV.
All right, family, let we go first. Let we try for clear out. Let we tell people and first waiting a census, a very powerful statistic report where they talk about the people within the country. Now, economic variable, like a sort of like important tool where any serious sober governments they look into this particular tool that the census, the population, the statistics itself, for able to make it think well and plan well for the development of the country, which is very good. That is why census is fine. And census not to what people what they do every year. I mean, the last census was 2015, where according to what you understand, another census will come back in 2023. But again, we just within the very short period of time, we carry for the first time midterm census where President Bio decide for say they conduct. Now, the reason why this census becomes become a hot topic now because people don't understand. I mean, we already get a date for the next census if the president decide by constitution. Yes, of course, the president will call the census, but we know about the midterm. I mean, it comes to a point now, legal challenges, legal explanation would say the president get right for call after census, midterm, census before time, census, any kind of name we are name. Other people they look at and say, no, this get political undertone because the SLPP believes say the previous census where APC do, they manipulate her for me to get more seats in the parliament. So then say this time now then turn. Power pass census will take place, even if not for the best interest of the country. Now you come to a point that World Bank be promised for give Salon $30 million for let the census go ahead. Well, because the opposition no buying the census, the opposition no clearly understand. According to the opposition, they say no even tell them about census. I can't play for some of the videos and it's not about what I say. What the opposition say. So then boycott the census. In fact, they even write to EU when one of the sponsors, EU, World Bank, and others for say the census on one put on a political census. It has nothing to do with development The government don't need their statistics and data there for develop, for make, for plan, nothing. In fact, we already get a date, so we're very, very close. So what's in at the rush? And I mean, that was one of the blunder of SLPP. Then feel say like this now autocratic states, in the sense that we get a king, waiting the king wants for lay happen and they happen. If you not like that, it's up to you, or then they beat you. And then go ahead with the census. In fact, and then go ahead with the plan. 9 minutes as the World Bank withdrew from sponsoring this census because of the legality we surround them. And I mean, this now was a clear message for the regime for not say, okay, no, we're not forced thing. We don't know partners. We opposition, we colleagues, because opposition, like you always talk on here, not to enemy of the state. Opposition now part of government, and government, any responsible government for always pay attention to the opposition. I mean, critical opposition, constructive criticism, where for the genuine interests of the country. If you don't listen to them, then you as a government, when they listen to the opposition, you not irresponsible government, you don't get no good plan for the country, because you cannot rule the country you want as a government, as a one single party, particularly who gets a multi-party system in the country. Everybody input, when a well-meaning input will make a difference. But we don't see this regime seriously in most cases now, like a dictatorial, waiting they want for their happen and they happen, you know, regardless of waiting opposition think, civil society, or the ordinary man, they not just give a damn about that. Now, this census therefore creates problem in the country if we not address it, if it's alone people not pay attention. Now, if you see the statistic will come up from this census, you go shame, you go shame, you go shock, and you go just see we like clown, we go see we like we not serious at all, because these are some of the the small efforts that would make as a country for we ignite fire for their conflict, we steer conflict at the country. It's not small trick there. We leaders a talent to know they imagine, they know they think. Like 2 decades ago, more than 50,000 people have lost their life in a salon because of politics, because of injustice, because of corruption, because of dictatorial tendency, because we get people when they listen, when we are government officials, when they listen to the ordinary person. But I would even cook this thing small back, you know, this revenge, power, I can't do this at the revenge, why be the opposition, this now so do me, myself what I can't do. They wouldn't be in a power, they make census, they cheat on the census and then get seats. So we say for come, will they cheat on the census, we say will come. I mean, how long will we continue to do this as a responsible country? Now, let's listen to what KKYB say regarding the census. Let's go quickly first, before we can talk for analyze the statistics, the data where statistics Sierra Leone release, we go shock you, where at least you don't shock a lot of people. And take a listen to what KKYB say about the very census. So they talk about just a moment, please. Just to try for fine. The videos are too much. I think on this. All right. Okay. Yeah.
The same parliament passed the state of emergency law, and then promised we say then go bring regulations within 2 weeks. Regulations not until after 1 month. I mean, after almost 1 year. Before the regulations then come, where the state of emergency they expire. That context important, why the opposition suspicious of waiting they go on. So any violation of process or procedure, like way the leader of the opposition don't state matter. The standing order very clear. Standing order 43B, that's 43A. In the case of any emergency of which notice is given to Mr. Speaker by the President, a meeting may be summoned on such notice as Mr. Speaker may determine in consultation with the majority and minority party leaders of the House. Very clear. We're not getting no notice. That's what we see on our social media. No consultation. This na bulldozing of processes is not correct. This is not for today. In the future, all them violations here, somebody they do them. Another leader they can one day, they make state of emergency. They not bring regulation. You see, waiting to them, they not do them before. Same thing with this. Another leader go after 1 year, he say, I want to do census. Damn the process. Now the opposition remind government say, you know they do census without parliament. Remember the census was announced in July, not so. How many months this? Not almost 10. Why it happened? Because the opposition raised alarm, say, hey, una don't violate procedure. If you don't violate procedure 10 months, the best you can do is to consult. But the speaker they at fault also. If the leader of the opposition don't raise procedural matter, not try for bulldoze because you know the context. Call the leadership out, stand parliament down, and that's what we used to do to resolve issues. But if you get that attitude, say everything for bulldoze, people for just comply, it is wrong. It is not for today. Every bad precedent will be used in the future by a bad leader. This was wrong. Second, even with all this don't be, how can you deny the opposition the mic to speak? How can you do that? Honestly, and not also. How can you deny the leader of the opposition? Mr. Bin, they wait for take the floor. How can you do that? Is this a democracy? This is why they say the democracy is a threat. Really now, you're forcing through a census. This same census, where the previous one, some of you will be raised concerned then give you full assurance the consultant the way all can 2015 say it was legit. This is how it was done. When you begin to force things through parliament and not to one, it accumulates, it causes tension unnecessarily.
All right, Fambu, una don't hear from KKY the reason for usai the first mistake, usai the first blunder on this census, where even the opposition, the government not even inform, not even consult. Like you don't go run a census without consultation with your colleagues, with you commerce with the people, with your competence, like law start from parliament, okay? Even they bring, I mean, you're from the parliamentarians, each and every law we call for census take place, then broken down. Apart from KKY, just listen to Chernobyl again as the reason why. I mean, we obviously there was a very, very tense fight where results to damage and all other things because of the same census. Take a listen.
They don't purportedly lay on the table certain instruments, but we all see say, and the pictures, the videos, and the cameras will show say nothing has been laid on the table because there are procedures. The mess not been at the table, so we don't know who's part at the table. And as we speak, they not lay any document at the table yet. But coming to the issue we challenge this morning. And we will continue for challenge until they correct them. Parliament is a house of laws and procedure. Now the Constitution established Parliament. Parliament is not established itself. So when they do the Constitution, they get different areas of the Constitution. If you can see, we get laws where they deal with forestry, where they deal with PPRC, where they deal with NEC. They all get individual legislations. The Constitution, not just the broad outline that they do. Any outfit where they create, then they get the little details. So the area we cover Parliament, now the standing orders, now the laws, where they guide the regulations and operations of Parliament. And one of the things I want to remind the Speaker about today, SO43, there is a proviso to the SOD. We make it very, very clear. Nobody not say the president not get power under 86(1) for call parliament when he wish. Nobody not say that. But two problems. One, the SO very specific. So when the president call the speaker, say he wants an emergency sitting, then definitely the next thing will happen, the speaker for call the majority and minority leaders, the parliament, together with the clerk, and get consultations. As I talk publicly today, that not be happen. Now, so
all right, now from Cheriko again of APC, where they said they cry, they lament, say the government not be able to consider themselves. They just get this emergency call when it don't very close towards the point of starting the census. They're here on our social media, and this we don't follow, but when we come together now. Now, statistics here alone don't release the results of the census, and this will shock you for the first time. Salona country. Our Lord, just take this caption from Dr. Dennis Bright. We see, you see, like, no matter how you look at this, there's no way absolutely USSL will convince himself. I know the argument where some people put on the argument that would they say men count people and say the right for not to be counted is a human right. Therefore, the people that will not be good and count them enough for talk, and therefore the people in other words, like the people the way they support the government, they are allowed and count them, though the people the way they're against, they're not counted. Therefore, those statistics are valid and those other statistics they are invalid. And this is the problem. This is why we say the census itself is not genuine, because the primary focus of a census now for you get correct data for label plan for your country. But if only you fabricate data, if you fabricate information for suit your comfort, then you do a disservice and posterity go judge you. And you know they create any instability, they create a room, they nurse, they breed serious conflict. Now, if we look at the statistic we analyze and seriously, the SLPP provisional census results published yesterday, Tuesday 31st, they say statistics here alone say the largest population in Sierra Leone today, na Kenema, when are the stronghold of the main opposition. I mean the ruling government, the largest, with 772,472 inhabitants. And there is an increase of 27% since 2015. So it's just clear that this is complete fabrication. This is complete nonsense. And this is wrong. This now retrogression. No wonder where the donor country there, we donor partners there. We want way for April for the census. They don't look this all. White man not fool. White man not stupid. They don't look ahead. They don't know say, oh, something is wrong somewhere. This money, the $30 million for spend, we know they put on on this. What in government do? They go take from a consolidated fund. They not even ask governments. They say then they do and by force. Then go take more than $10 million. Western, just a pure West. Pure West. I mean, if one creates statistics, data, I mean, why would I forgo just waste money again? It's simple. Because when I already don't make up on a mind, say, this not something that they fabricate. This, make now the result on I want, now they put. So what was the point of you having forgone the consolidated fund, go take huge money in the name of census, una shape back, because una shape back, they shape the money to themselves. You see how then they strangle we country they will not get money. Now do not driven. But at the same time, the small resources we will get, people will leaders say, no, not even get the common sense how for manage the resources and they. But they were so good, they are so effective, they are so efficient in wasting with little resources we get in our country. And this is sad, it's shameful, it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. Now, the largest district in the country today, na Kenema. I mean, even that class 5 PQ, or the class 6 PQ, they get census, we see this statistics and they laugh. Because maybe, I mean, this, and we'll just tell we say soon, say, maybe there is an increase in population due to people in the rush for going to Kenema because maybe electricity, water facility, or maybe the Kenema people are so happy by SL people that they win the election that they celebrate by I mean, then born quick within that short period, then born quick picking them. When we check the babies in, according to Dr. Dennis Bright, that's 162,500 mom picking and just don't born because of like for celebrate no more because SLPP don't they not powered. Can my people and so happy for that. So that I make it fancy in numbers increase rapidly. Now, another interesting story for the census and despite of we see there is a heavy rural urban migration. We know some people they come up from all parts of the world and the country. They kind of Freetown flooded. But at the same time, now we don't know for the first time, Freetown don't become decrease. In fact, half of the census for Freetown 2015 and 2021, like the people that don't decrease by half. Where I mean, it's so crazy, it's so funny, it's unbelievable. And at the same time, you find out if you even check the bow according to the SLBP census, now 150,274 more people in Bo than in Freetown. You can imagine people in Bokuna now Bo past Freetown, the capital city. Past the capital city. Now, even Bond, we are all the population be there just 200,000. Bond now 300,000 people don't did it. Now, this is just for telling you how this particular census now adjusted, fabricated, concocted. This not just a mere shame. I just wasted time, wasted money, wasted resources just for, I mean, create unnecessary tension at the country. The population in the northwest, the northeast, and the western region all together don't do up by 236,799, whereas the south and the eastern region have been credited with additional 685,214 people. This is the biggest joke. The biggest joke of all time. Biggest joke of all time. So this is clear for telling us the SLPP, the SLP President Bio, he really gets bad mind for this election. He really get bad mind for the country because, I mean, if you go along with these statistics, you know, that clearly tells you first, they don't give a privilege to the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission for let them create boundary limitation, the limitation for let at least then create more places, then more seats in the parliament because those people, they don't get more people in, those regions, they don't get more people in, and therefore they need more representative. And whilst the other area there, the northwest, northeast, the urban, northeast, northwest, we don't decrease in population and they reduce the representation. You don't see the technique, and this gets effect on the election. So SLBP, they feel they're smart. President Bio feel the people in the country, they are the same 10, 20 years back. We they grow up. We understand, we they see things. All we are saying is for us to have a common approach to being more responsible in handling issues of good governance, issues of transparency, issues we get potential for destabilize the country, for we avoid them completely, as advised by the TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Back then, we know what we don't go through. And these are some of the things that now we just like say they're not important, we ignore them. But believe me, if we not do something about them, we go regret her. We don't want to regret her because we know the world force today was now a choke. What's how you go as a Leonean? Refugee crisis in the world. People Europe wanna be like the one place where people will get open hand where they accept people. They don't overwhelm, they don't tire. So what should they try for this in the country right now? Not to help the country. For let a government sit down no more willfully because of their inability for perform, they feel safe and get another term, then we able to do more, then create a deliberate act of installing or fabricating data, information, when they call shamelessly and seen a census. You see, for the first time, Kenema, Bo, all the region they are, then don't supersede Freetown. These are the highest populated regions in the country. I mean, the government been there in short hurry that They don't even consult the opposition. When you see the fair to be take place, to play them clip there, they don't even consult the opposition. And I mean, even the opposition be disapproved because we don't be seeing any sort of like necessity, because they think the way people in one of the country, okay, we still get statistics where census will do 2015. If government genuinely want for help better the country, then go still, fight from 2015 2018, then just kind of power 2021. How many years? How many years? So tell me, say, we get data, governments get data for looking to. Approximately, if you want to do anything in terms of progressive, development or for distribute resources equitable, then can still use that data there, because we're not even get. Well, look at the 30 million for giving the World Bank withdraw. Government of Sierra Leone remove money from the consolidated fund. That millions of dollars then they wouldn't spend. If you think. You don't think if them put on a certain strategic area like electricity, like water supply, just a basic thing there no more. Maybe food production, it go make a difference than for countable numbers. They say no, we need that number there for low plan. I mean, when I don't have 4 years in governance, we don't no plan, and now we don't have like a couple of months, we know the plan. You guys are not serious, absolutely. We are not serious. With all the talk, now Mike they can say elephant load, not to picking load. We don't see when President Bio and SLPP be in our opposition. These are the things that they cry about. Waste. These are the things that they cry about. For law, we respect the law. Law, we work inclusively. Law, we pay attention on the bread and butter. In fact, these governments come into existence because of the bread and butter issue. But you and me are a witness. Is there any bread and butter for the ordinary person? No, unless you get to be a strong member of the SLPP, or you rely on the president in good way for good position, and then they increase the salary to astronomical level, like where with the seasonal amount in the pay certain governments and appointees and presidential appointees and absurd. Then salary, then benefits, then transport, then per diem, it's just too crazy for imagine. Where the ordinary man over and what they get, look at the teachers, look at the police salary, look at the military salary, of course. These are things that we're very serious. Look at the doctors there. I mean, many. We're not grow. We just try for create more issues than for ourselves. So, I mean, these statistics results where Statistics Sierra Leone release is shameful, and we they call on the Electoral Commission for make them not go through with this. I believe me, if they go through this, it will cause the trouble in the country. It will cause this a very, very serious trouble in the country, because if SLPP rely on these statistics, then go and capitalize and say, okay, we get facts, we get data for sure. Say yes, we get more seats, we get more people here. And therefore, in the area of trying for probably, I don't want to use the word reignite because say this, we will allow for let that take place. But I mean, not just like a room, not just like a reference, not just like something where they encourage person to think whether for do that or not, because you get something for backup with you, because there is already data where you don't fabricate, you don't put, you don't say now official data. It's very wrong. You're wrong and you're wrong. And the world they watch, and who said they watch, I mean, posterity go judge. Those people will shamelessly go take salon money from the consolidated fund, then go western, then say in the name of census on a sham, census where no make no difference, where the result is just too embarrassing. Because how many people people in there for way na parliamentarian we don't count. We don't count people on this platform when a parliamentarians. We don't confess they don't even count them. Imagine parliamentarians they don't even count them, even though they one parliamentarian count them. I mean, how many people in there African don't even count? Where they really want let them count them. So I mean, the issue, they get better in the country. They get better. We hope and president listen, and we hope say neck no go budge, because they get a sworn in constitutional duty for protect the integrity of their work, and think about Salon first, think about the people, think about the load and give the responsibility. For say, if we will not budge to the dictates of one person, we not just an employee, now we employ President Bio. If now they take direction, now not go direct command for say, do this, now do this for in a way for at least this benefiter, una set posterity go judge una the net people there. Una get a sworn in duty, una loyalty for be to the people of Salon and the country. But I believe, say, no matter what, people in this time, this election, people will pay more attention and go look at her. You see, the previous government, they said they want to win the election at all costs. But Salon people can be vigilant and then be open and eye. There's no way out. And I believe, say, the same people, when we are Sierra Leone, say, we go be more vigilant this time for make sure, say, no rigging, no yuki, transparency, accountability, everything way for make election become credible and fair if it happen. But because we don't go settlement, we will continue for Kaya rapidly and tell now the census, this census, if the user get potential for take the country go beyond. This particular census. We hope leaders there know they create a plan, know they create an environment for steer conflict, because at the last thing I know we want. Until then, my family, I tell you plenty. Thank you for joining me. This is now a quick one for analyze the census. We don't see less. It gets a potential for create problem for we in the country. We'll come back with another segment in few this time. All right.